Jai Shri Ram. Assorted Esoterica. Esoterica means esoteric items, which means highly specialized and known only to an initiate. Initiate means a person who has been trained in the highly specialized or secret knowledge, not known to everyone. So that's the meaning of the word esoterica. So esoterica can also be, you know, also mean things known only to a scholar. Details which are known only to a scholar. Esoterica, like trivia, Trivia. Now, the word trivia has many meanings. Trivia means insignificant, trifling details, minor details. That's one negative meaning. But trivia also means facts which are known only to a very few people who are scholarly in that subject. So there's a second meaning for the word trivia. Of course, trivia is also the name of a board game, trivia quiz. So remember, every word has many meanings. Trivia has a positive meaning. Trivia also means uh, obscure details and facts which are known only to a scholar. So let us get to grips with this word, because I am calling this series Assorted Esoterica of Sanatana Dharma. Huh? So esoteric means designed or understood by the specially initiated. Initiate. I am an initiate in Kundalini Yoga. Initiated means trained. Diksha తీసుకున్నవాడు. Everyone cannot be called an initiate. Initiate means a person who has been specially trained in the secret or highly specialized knowledge. So esoteric spiritual principles, esoteric legal doctrines, esoteric terminology. Esoteric terminology means something that is difficult to understand, requiring knowledge that is restricted to this group of initiates. Esoteric terminology. Sometimes, books of spirituality are annoying because they're full of esoteric terminology. Instead of making things easier for people to understand, some writers perhaps want to show off their knowledge, and they use a lot of esoteric terminology. Esoteric subjects are not easy to understand. They are involved and complicated. So esoteric subjects, esoteric pursuits. An esoteric pursuit is something that a small group of people are likely to be interested in. Esoteric pursuit. So, like I said, we are all doing PhD in Bhagavad Gita. That is indeed an esoteric pursuit, because most people are not interested in that. So anyway, I hope you keep working along with me, and do make suggestions in the comments section. Esoteric pursuits. This is indeed an esoteric pursuit. Doing a PhD in Bhagavad Gita is perhaps a never-ending process. So it is an esoteric pursuit, an esoteric purpose. An esoteric purpose is a private, confidential purpose. So esoteric materials are special and rare. Now, esoterica. So esoterica is esoteric items, right? So esoteric items. Now, please understand, to learn a word, we need to do a lot of reading. We need to read a couple of dictionaries. And in fact, the more dictionaries you read, the more insights you will get into the word. Word learning is a serious activity, right? So the esoterica of Mahabharata, esoterica of Ramayana, esoterica of Scrabble, esoterica of chess, esoterica of cooking, banking esoterica. Start using the word. Esoterica of Sanatana Dharma. So my title for these recordings, some recordings from now on, will be Assorted Esoterica of Sanatana Dharma, or simply Esoterica of Sanatana Dharma. So let us delve into the esoterica of various Hindu scriptures. Let us delve into the esoterica of various Hindu scriptures. Though we will delve into the esoterica of various Hindu scriptures, we are not going to indulge in esotericism. Now, esotericism is the quality or state of being esoteric, secret. My task is actually to make things easier and no obscure details, so that we are in a better position to lead others. Because if you have been listening to most of my videos, I am certain you are driven by the passion to be a leader of Sanatana Dharma, and in fact, that would mean a leader of men. Because I am convinced, it is my conviction that only Hinduism can save mankind. All other religions fail very, very badly. In fact, even the sister religions or daughter religions of Hinduism, which we call, dharmic religions, that is Sikhism, Buddhism, and Jainism, they also fall short. Though they were perhaps born as a reaction to certain perceived injustices in Hinduism. Sikhism, perhaps, can be considered a religion that grew out of Hinduism because of the perceived injustices heaped on certain sections of society, all in the name of caste. Unfortunately, these are imagined grievances. There is no caste system to begin with. So there is no fundamental flaw in Hinduism. In the praxis, praxis, praxis means the practice. So unfortunately, evils crept into Hinduism for various reasons. I don't want to delve into that now. So the Bhagavad Gita or the Vedas do not discriminate against anyone on any grounds whatsoever. A lot of atrocity literature has been churned up. That Purusha Suktam is very clearly describing caste, and Shudras are born from the feet. These idiots don't understand the spiritual significance. All form the body of Paramatma, and if you form a part of the body of the Paramatma, whether it is the foot or the head, you are divine. And foot gives stability. The building's foundation is the feet of the building, and so you cannot cut off the feet, and it has got nothing. And in fact, when you go to the temple, you touch the feet of Bhagavan. That means you are touching the Shudra. So there are many ways to explain and counter these meaningless criticisms of Hinduism. So this is the problem. So Hinduism fundamentally has no problem. The Vedas and the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Vedas. So many idiots, rascals, and apologists of Islam and Christianity, and these commie pigs, the communist rascals, they have been, even now, they are fully engaged in churning out lot of atrocity literature. Atrocity literature is a phrase which means, a lot of literature that is written, churning out. Churning out means, producing a lot of trashy stuff. So all this is aimed at denigrating Hinduism, blackening. Denigrate means peru paadu cheyadam, maligning, slandering. So this is what they do all the time. Whereas we Hindus don't do anything like that, I think, because it's a waste of time. I definitely have posted a lot of videos in which I am leveling criticism against these religions. And this criticism is very rational. Sometimes, yes, I might take a satiric dig, that's a different thing, and I think I'm entitled to that much. But I'm not abusive like they are. I don't use expletives to denigrate their gods and their so-called pseudo-gods, psychopathic gods actually. Okay, so let us begin our Esoterica of Sanatana Dharma. Esoterica of Sanatana Dharma. 1. According to yoga, according to Patanjali Yoga, all thoughts, speech, actions leave a residue potential in the form of samskaras. All thoughts, all words, all thoughts, all actions leave the residue, which is called samskaras. In English, it is called engram, E-N-G-R-A-M, which come together, which coalesce, all of them, and then they form your disposition, your temperament, your habitual mood and tendencies to act in particular ways. And these things will act even before your conscious mind takes a decision. That is why it is not the conscious mind, it is the unconscious, the subconscious. You are not even aware of how you are going to speak or do things, because it's deeply ingrained, embedded. And these actions produce karma in the form of pleasure or pain, which again produce reactions, which result in the strengthening of already existing samskaras. The samskaras can be defined as subliminal activators. Samskaras are subliminal activators. Subliminal means below the level of consciousness. Subliminal advertising, you see, at prime time on TV between 8 to 10, they advertise Kingfisher mineral water, Royal Challenge mineral water, Carlsberg glasses. Even a kid knows that this is beer and whiskey. So, what they're trying to do is indirectly, if a person is trying to kick off the habit of alcoholism, he is now being stimulated to go and get himself some booze. So, this is called subliminal advertising, because in India, direct advertising of liquor and cigarettes is not allowed. So, they resort to surrogate advertising. Surrogate means substitute. So, samskaras are subliminal activators. And you know, these new actions will produce new samskaras, new subliminal activators. So, dhyana, study of Bhagavad Gita, and constant remembrance of Krishna has the capacity to destroy one's samskaras, and it will purify your mind and make you a mumukshu, means one who is intently desirous of achieving moksha. So, study of Bhagavad Gita, living the Gita, and surrendering to Krishna will liberate you from the effects of karma. Okay. So, the next Esoterica is from Dasabodh, in which Samartha Ramdas ji is describing how a leader should behave. Dasbodh means instructions given to the Das, that is the disciple or the servant. Das, one who serves the master. So remember, Samartha Ramdas ji was the guru of Chhatrapati Shivaji, and his Mahamantra, he chanted Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. So you can do that chanting. And Dasa Bodha is his magnum opus, and I have derived a lot of inspiration from Dasa Bodha. You can get a copy from Gita Press. It's a huge work. Dasa Bodha prescribes socially responsible leadership. That means leader should be people oriented, reach out to people instead of staying put at one place, instead of sticking to the office. You see, in management there is a concept called MBWA, management by walking around or management by wandering around. Don't sit in the office and be a pen pusher, then you are not a leader. A leader must meet as many people as possible. Look at Modi ji. He is meeting people all the time, listening to them carefully and understanding ground realities. This is what leadership is all about. Okay, I am reading the Marathi, it's in Marathi, no problem. Yeke thai baison rahila tari mag vyapachi budala सावध पणे जाला थाला जाला त्याला भेटी धावी. I think you should meet. Be seated at a place and you will lose control of all enterprise. Instead, meet people and your enterprise will flourish. What a wonderful piece of advice. Management by walking around, management by wandering around. A leader should be a visible leader. Leader should look like a leader and be a leader and a visible leader. If you are hiding in the office and sitting within some closed rooms, then you are not a leader. So Samartha Ramdas ji, Jai Jai Raghuveer Samarth. Jai Jai Raghuveer Samarth is a chant. Okay. So he founded many Hanuman temples. Hanuman temple circuit. You can call it. Narayana Suryaji Pant Kulkarni Thosar. His full name was Narayana Suryaji Pant Kulkarni Thosar. So he was a Kulkarni. Okay. Kulkarni, I think were Brahmins. Okay. His poetic works were Shri Maruti Stotra, Ramayana, Marathi, in Marathi, Atma Ram, Man Panchak, Laghu Kavita, Shadripu, Nirvan, and he wrote this, Arti, Ganesh Arti, Sukhakarta, Dukhaharta, which is sung in Bombay. Sukhakarta, Dukhaharta. In the Siddhi Vinayak temple, Sukhakarta, Dukhaharta is a song, Arti to Ganesh, written by Samartha Ramdas ji. He also established a temple of the goddess Pratapa Durga goddess Pratap Durga at Pratapgarh fort. His guru was Sri Rama himself directly. Okay, and Arati to Lord Khandoba, Panchanan Haivahan Surabhushan Leela. Arati to Lord Khandoba. Khandoba is seated on a horse. Okay. Hanuman temples, 11 Hanuman temples, believed to be Jagrat Maruti temples. He founded many Hanuman temples. These 11 are called Jagrut Maruti temples in Sangli and Satara districts. All 11 temples, Hanuman temples, are on the banks of river Krishna. So, at his wedding, he heard the mantra Savadhana, Savadhana uttered by the priest, and he ran away from the wedding. Because Savadhana means be alert. Then he realized, oh my God, I have to be alert. If I get lost in samsara, then I will not be able to bring about the change that I intend to bring about in Hindu society. So, there must be a lesson on Samartha Ramdas ji in our school textbooks. He was the guru of Chhatrapati Shivaji, mind you. Otherwise, Chhatrapati Shivaji would have become a sant and then everything would have been lost. So, Samartha Ramdas ji was born on Sri Ramanavami. He was born on Sri Ramanavami in 1608, and he took Mahasamadhi in 1681. He was born at Jalna. Samartha Ramdas ji was born at Jalna, and he took Samadhi at Sajjangad. Uh, he took when he took Mahasamadhi for 5 days, he did not take any water or fruits. So it is something like Prayopavesham. Within 5 days, he took Prayopavesham at Sajjangad. He was born at Jalna and died at Sajjangad. And he was chanting Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. That was his chant. Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. It's a nice chant. It's a very uplifting chant. And Samartha Ramdas ji had innumerable devotees. He also had 18 women devotees, female disciples. Vennabai, Akkabai. Samartha Ramdas ji also had a darshan of Sri Dattatreya in Mahurgad. Dasabodha is his main work. Manache Shloka. And so Kulkarnis are Brahmins, yes. He was a Kulkarni and he was a Brahmin of Jamadagni Gotra, Parashurama. Just imagine. So he was almost like a Parashurama only. So against Muslim atrocities also he wrote many abhangs, but which are now not being sung because appeasement. In fact, Indrajimi Jamb Par Bhadavasu Amb Par, a song written by Kavi Bhushan, Gandhi banned it simply because the word Mlecha. Mlecha occurs in the last line of that song, because Mlecha means one who does not accept the authority of the Vedas. These barbarians. Simply because one word Mlecha was there, Gandhiji banned that song, Indrajimi Jambapar. It's a wonderful, very inspiring song. So this is the level to which Gandhiji stooped to appease these fellows. They are not going to be appeased anyway, because their holy book is full of lechery, butchery, treachery, and all atrocities, because it's full of absurdities. Asmani Sultani Paracha Krani Rupam Karunasta something like that. So this is an amount. So the names of the 11 temples are these are 11 temples, Jagrut Maruti temples in Sangli and Satara. The places I think are Satrane, Uddane, Hunkar, Vadani, Shahapur, Masur, Chapal, Shahapur near Karnad, 1644. Chapal, Shinganwadi in Satra, Umbraji, Masur, Majgaon, Satara, Bahe, Sangli, Manapadale, Kolhapur. Hanuman Arti he composed. Hanuman Arti also he composed. Satrane, Uddane, Hunkar, Vadani, Pargaon, Panhala and Shirala. So, Zari Pataka Dharma Dhwaj, Bhagwa Jhanda. So Bhagwa Jhanda, he used to carry the Bhagwa Jhanda. You can call it Dharma Dhwaj, Zari Patka. Okay, Dharma Dhwaj, Bhagwa Jhanda. So get out of the intellectual slumber and anxiety. Build your character. Read Dasabodha. My quote is a shloka a day keeps anxiety away, or a kriti a day keeps anxiety away. actually is spiritual sloth, ACCIDIE, spiritual laziness. The next esoterica. In Rameshwaram temples, there are 1202 12 pillars which all meet in one dot. One dot. If you stand at one end of the corridor, 1202 pillars meet in one dot. It was built in 1740. So this is the level of precision of Hindu temples. Architecture, I mean ultimate architecture. Next esoterica. Rana Sangha with 80 wounds all over the body, one eye and one arm, injured badly and with a limping leg, fought and won battles against Muslim invaders. No lesson on Rana Sangha. Rana Sangha. These are some now. The next esoterica. My random jottings, all which are useful to describe the desert cults. Sadistic lunacy. Sadistic lunacy. Consecrated polygamy, it has consecrated despotism, it has consecrated slavery, institutionalized slavery. The innate bellicosity of these cults. Triumphalism. Triumphalism means the tendency to impose one's religion and believing that one will ultimately, their religion only will be ultimately successful in dominating everyone. That is triumphalistic. Triumphalism, Triumphalism, is a superiority, feeling of superiority complex, an attitude or feeling of victory or superiority, that their religion is superior to all others. This is a smug and boastful pride in the success or dominance of one's theory, one's religion or ideology over others. Triumphalist. Hindus are not triumphalist. Unfortunately, Christians and Muslims are triumphalist. Their religion is triumphalistic. They believe that they are superior. They also firmly have this conviction that everyone has to be converted. Triumphalism. Such triumphalism is extremely, it is what leads to all kinds of crimes. Throughout history, there have been so many crusades, 9 crusades, holy war, jihad. Christians and Muslims have fought and created enough misery for the whole world, and it's still going on. The 10th crusade is going on, now covertly, not overtly. So all monotheistic religions are a scourge, SCOURG. Scourge means a source of evil, disease. Scourge also means to a whip. So polytheism is truly peaceful. No degraded libidinous prophets. Degraded libidinous prophets. Humiliating. These cults are humiliating to the human intellect. And I do not know how mature people, educated adults, still subscribe to such thinking and such theologies. Brutal cycles of violence, if you look at their history. Their holy books actually loathe modern society, but they all want visas to USA. A theology of hate. It is nothing but a theology of hate. It's like a blue whale game. Once you enter, there is no escape. A blue whale game. Once you enter, there is no escape. A theology of hate. Exclusivist theology. Violence ordained by God Himself. Violence ordained by God. The horrific genocides. And all kinds of absurd doctrines. Exalting violence. Slaughtering entire, communities. Utterly deplorable, self-contradictory jabberwocky. At some places, these their pastors and mullahs, they will do cherry picking. They will tell you a few nice things here and there, which are actually taken out of context. If you read the context, you will be horrified. Remember, any holy book which makes the contextual normative, then it becomes a fountain of terror. In battle, you have to fight. That is contextual. So they try to defend their violent verses on the grounds that it was wartime. So if it is wartime, then that is a contextual instruction. So it cannot become normative. So it is all self-contradictory jabberwocky, utterly deplorable. Cultural retrogression is what is happening in their society. Everyone is moving forward. These fellows are going back. Intellectual decay. No sense of human decency. So I bitterly resent all these, insults and humiliations and distortions of history. Stoning rituals are there in this holy book. Violence is a sacred duty. eh? And genocide, Hindu Holocaust, 10 times that of Jewish Holocaust. Now, the word Holocaust actually in the dictionary is defined as the mass murder, genocide of Jews by Hitler, which is about some 6 to 8 million he killed. But the truth is, the Hindu genocide is 10 times more than that. 80 million Hindus, or in fact more. The Hindu population fell by some 200 million because of the Islamic invasions, and also Christian, your Goan Inquisition is there. Uh, so these lessons are not taught, and Jewish Holocaust is exalted as the greatest massacre. No, Hindu Holocaust is the biggest one. There's no museum, Hindu Holocaust museum in Goa. I think Francois Gautier has built one Holocaust museum. Honestly, anything about them causes a visceral revulsion in me. A visceral revulsion. Visceral means instinctive, very deeply felt. So these people are stricken with intellectual paralysis and decadence. And all their prophets and all, they are masters of hatred, spreading out like locusts, converting, spreading out like locusts, and disseminating hatred. The holy book is basically full of hatred, holy hatred. So these paradigms are dangerous, evil, riddled with bloodlust, riddled with bloodlust, and the love to kill, hate filled. We are, in fact, we are always under constant ideological surveillance. We Hindus are constantly under ideological surveillance. These fellows indulge in hair splitting, logic chopping, and try to find fault with us, while actually their books are pure bloodlust, uh, full of hatred, hate filled. So, atrophied brains, irremediable degeneration. The brains are completely atrophied. And all disgusting tales of conjugal vigor, that their prophets and their holy men were having sex with women, 20 women in one night. These tall tales of conjugal vigor, having the ability of 100 men, I believe. And this basically is one reason why humanity is slipping into degeneration, decay. And it is shocking. 4 billion people subscribe to these cults. The next Esoterica is a Surdas ji bhajan. We will end this. Rani Tero Chirjiyo Gopal. Listen to Pandit Jasraj singing this. सूरदास जी भजन. रानी तेरो चिरजियो गोपाल, बेगी बड़ो बड़ी होए विरद लट, बेगी बड़ो बड़ी होए विरद लट, महरी मनोहर बाल, रानी तेरो चिरजियो गोपाल. उपजी परियो यह कूखी भाग्यबल, समुद्र सीप जैसे लाल, सब गोकुल के प्राण जीवन धन, बैरिन के उर्साल. So Surdas ji's language is difficult to understand. We need to find somebody who can give us the meaning of all this. Okay. So Surdas ji wrote in Braj Bhasha, isn't it? Sur kito जिया सुख पावत हैं, निरखत श्याम तमाल, रज आरज लागो मेरी अखियन, रज आरज लागो मेरी अखियन, रोग दोष जंजाल, रानी तेरो चिरजियो गोपाल. Okay, I think I'll stop here. This will be the first track of Esoterica, and I'm going to record. Remember, I have a lot of computer systems here which are full of my readings and recordings and research. So I think I must record them on YouTube so that somebody might listen and become a truly world leader, because all this knowledge is useful. Right? Jai Shri Ram.